Hey there, my name is Anthony Romano, and in this video I'm going to explain to you Jordan Peterson's zero carb diet, also his carnivore diet, and how keto diets can make you smarter.
Oh, all I eat is meat and greens. That's it. No juice, no vegetables, no carbohydrates. Meat, greens. That's it.
And that fixed it.
That seems to have fixed it.
That fixes so many people.
Well, so if you click this video, you either know about the ketogenic diet or you know about Jordan Peterson. So for those of you who aren't aware, the ketogenic diet is the no-carb diet or the low-carb diet, basically anything under 50 grams a day and only from green vegetables. And Jordan Peterson is a professor of psychology. He's a doctor of the University of Toronto. A lot of people know him on YouTube for his political activism, but not a lot of people know that he does a low-carb diet. He essentially does a carnivore diet, so a zero-carb diet for autoimmune disorders and for depression that he's dealt with. But overall, there are a lot of benefits from low-carb diets, and in this video, I'm going to explain not only Jordan Peterson's diet and his approach to it, but also how it can make you smarter. And myself personally, I'm a big advocate for the ketogenic diet. There's a lot of health benefits to it, and I try to promote it to a lot of people. But at the end of the day, not a lot of people know it for its intelligence benefits and its brain boosting power. So I'm going to explain some of that to you in this video, just using Jordan Peterson as a vehicle for that argument. So overall, if you don't know who Jordan Peterson is, all you need to know is his diet. And in this case, his diet is a zero-carb carnivore diet. So this basically means he gets all of his food from meat, basically. He used to do a ketogenic diet with greens and meat as well, but because his daughter had a lot of arthritic issues and other autoimmune disorders, she had to move to a zero-carb carnivore diet just because it reduced extra inflammation in her body from cutting out that extra amount of carbs. And for the most part, it's safe to say he's eating a ketogenic diet year-round. So his actual makeup of food is predominantly meats and vegetables. We know this because of what he said in interviews, and overall it's safe to say this guy's eating clean meats most of the time, and when he is eating vegetables, they're obviously going to be the greens. They're not going to be the ones higher in sugar, like the tomatoes, if that's a fruit. There's basically no fruit at all, and it's all meat and vegetables. If you truly cared about what he actually ate in a day, there's plenty of other ways to actually boost the brain benefits of a ketogenic diet through healthier fat sources and avoiding those sugars. But here's the whole argument as to how it can help your intelligence. So as far as understanding a keto's diet's effect on the brain, you have to realize that the first thing they're doing is changing the body's energy source to fat. And fat is actually your brain's preferred energy source. Our brains are 60% fat, and of all of our body's cholesterol, 20% of the cholesterol is going to the brain. And if you don't eat enough cholesterol of the healthy kind, your body will actually produce more cholesterol. This is because every cell in our body is made of cholesterol and saturated animal fat. So if you're not eating enough, your body is going to produce more. It's so essential to life that if you had no cholesterol, you would die. And this is also why a lot of people tend to have problems when their body has to produce more of its own cholesterol. A lot of the heart problems and other associated risks of cholesterol tend to be the case when your body has to make more of its own cholesterol, rather than when you're eating healthy sources of cholesterol. So forcing your body to make more of its own cholesterol is probably worse for your health than it's definitely worse for your health than eating healthy sources of cholesterol. So when your brain is running on fat, this is a much better energy source than sugar. And when you're eating sugar and carbohydrates on a regular basis, you're basically spiking your blood sugar and your body's energy source and making it very volatile. So really, sugar is not the preferred energy source for the brain. And when I'm talking about sugar, I'm saying all carbohydrates, because the second you have carbohydrates, it's going to turn into sugar in your blood, whether it's from a cleaner source or not, whether it's from natural source or not. So besides the fact that fat is the primary and preferred source of energy for the brain, especially because it's 60% fat in makeup, there's also certain kinds of fat that are very beneficial to your brain's health, and this is why you've probably heard about omega-3s. So omega-3s are fatty acids, and basically they're anti-inflammatory acids. When you're higher in omega-3s, you're going to have better brain function, better cell development, and it's helpful for a lot of processes in the body. This is why people take lots of fish oils, and that's why I take a lot of fish oils. When it comes to how they actually influence your intelligence, a lot of studies have shown that eating good sources of omega-3s in good quantities is actually brain food. It's stuff that your brain is going to use almost right away, and it's going to, supplementing with these things and getting them in your diet is going to improve the power of your brain. So this is one way that the ketogenic diet can be more of a brain boosting diet, because there's more prevalence of omega-3s and you're eating fattier foods, and you can only get omega-3s from fatty foods. So this is things like fish, this is some meats, predominantly red meats, some eggs, things like this. And additionally, besides the fact that it's a better source of energy than sugar, there is something in your nerve cells called myelin. So myelin is like a little shield around these nerve cells, and it helps them communicate. And when you're eating good sources of cholesterol and good sources of fat, what it's basically going to do is improve the quality of your myelin. And basically this allows your brain to communicate better. It's better for your nerves overall. And with people who have multiple sclerosis, it tends to show, from all the science we know, that it slows down the progression of the disease. So with multiple sclerosis patients, it's always shown benefits because they have a problem with their myelin. And basically, if you take the presumption that all of the cells in our body are made of healthy cholesterol and fat, if you have better sources of fat and cholesterol in your diet, this is going to improve, like I said, not only your brain function, but the little details such as the myelin in your body. So in general, if I haven't already convinced you enough with the benefits of healthy fat sources in your diet and getting them in larger quantities, the main contrast here is that your brain is not running on sugar on this diet. Your brain will use a small percentage of sugar that it is going to create from excess protein that you're eating, because your body can produce a small amount of carbohydrates every day. And this is probably how the body was meant to use carbohydrates, because it wasn't meant to be spiking these things like crazy. Overall, your brain does not prefer to run on sugar. It's going to make you crash. It's going to have that peak and that fall. And that is essentially the nature of sugar as an energy source, whether it's for your brain or your body. If you have fat, it's a much more sustainable energy source, and your body is able to use it much more stably. Okay? So as far as Jordan Peterson's diet concerns you, his diet is a carnivore diet. So it is predominantly meats and healthy animal fats and protein. When it comes to the animal fats, healthy fat is predominantly anti-inflammatory, so it's omega-3 rather than omega-6, and it's full of the fat-soluble vitamins. So these are vitamin A, E, D, and K, and these are also very important for cell formation, and they need fat in order to be bioavailable. So in order for your body to digest those vitamins, it needs a fat source. And this is also why I talk on my channel about how the carb-based diets, especially the bodybuilding fitness scene carb-based diets, the if it fits your macros approach, tend to deprive your body of healthy sources of fat. And because your body needs a certain variety of nutrients to be absorbed with fat, this can also affect your brain function. It can also affect why you may have felt lethargic or what may have felt tired or fatigued and just like crap overall every time you've done a carb-based diet. Because when your body's running on carbs, if you're depriving it of that energy source, you're basically forcing your body to do all of its functions with a small amount of energy. Fat is a much more stable source of energy, and it's also preferred because of how easy it is to be used, especially when you're on a ketogenic metabolism. When your body is on a keto diet for longer than a month, you're going to approach a stage called fat adaptation. And fat adaptation allows your body to use fats very easily and quickly, and carbs very easily and quickly. So what it's going to do is it's going to use carbs the way they were meant to be used, as a quick energy source without making your metabolism switch completely. So if you're looking for this diet for intelligence and brain boosting benefits, you will absolutely benefit from a ketogenic or low carb approach. You can push it to the carnivore approach like Jordan Peterson does, but what that's basically going to do is lower your levels of inflammation a little bit more. So if you have any autoimmune disorders like Jordan Peterson does, this will be beneficial for certain autoimmune disorders. However, it's very easy to say Jordan Peterson eats predominantly meats and some green vegetables. Not much more to go with there. He's not a bodybuilder. He's not a fitness personality. So breaking down his diet further than that doesn't really offer us much. I do have other athlete and breakdowns of other diets of other people who use keto on my channel. If you'd like to learn more about those from a bodybuilding perspective, plenty to search for. However, as far as boosting your brain power, cutting out those carbs, making your brain's energy source be a lot more stable and a lot less volatile, and getting it from healthier, high quality sources is going to be a miracle for you. I mean, for myself personally, I feel great mentally and physically when I do a ketogenic diet. I find that I tend to only have to hear things once or twice before I really internalize them. And overall, I'm speaking and talking a lot more smoothly, and I just feel good overall. So if you were interested in more of this, if you do want me to break down Jordan Peterson's diet a little bit further, I can totally do that. However, the point is still effective regardless of knowing his meal by meal. So if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like, click the little notification bell, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. My name is Anthony Romano. I'd love to answer any of your questions or concerns in the comments. So thank you for watching. Peace.